She said she was at a book signing. The author she claimed to see was doing a virtual tour. I sent her a copy of the book, with a note inside that said, "The plot doesn't check out." I never thought I'd be the kind of man who gets cheated on. But here I am. Sitting in my kitchen, thinking back over the last year of my marriage and realizing how blind I was. I'm 42 years old. I live just outside Charlotte, North Carolina. I work from home doing IT contract work, mostly boring stuff, but it pays well and keeps me busy. My ex-wife, Carly, worked at a nearby community center. We were married 8 years. No kids. Just us. We used to be solid. We met at a friend's barbecue back in 2012. She laughed at my dumb jokes, and I liked how she talked about books and helping kids. She was warm and kind, and I really believed she loved me. At least, at the start. It started changing last spring. At first it was little things. She started getting home later than usual. Said she had work meetings or just wanted to go out for coffee alone. She seemed more distracted, less interested in talking. Sex became once every 2 weeks, then once a month. When I brought it up, she'd say she was tired or stressed. I believed her. Or I wanted to. Then the book signings started. Carly loved books. Romance novels, mostly, the kind with shirtless guys on the covers. She'd always been a reader, so when she said she was going to a book signing downtown one Thursday night, I didn't question it. I told her to have fun. She came home late, around 11 p.m., saying the author stayed longer to answer questions. She had a book in her hand with a sticky note on the front, signed copy. She looked excited, glowing. I smiled and told her it was nice to see her so happy about something. Then she went to another one. Then another. By summer, she was going to book signings 3 or 4 times a month. Always in the evenings, always on weekdays, always alone. She'd come home late every time, never offering much detail about the event, just that it was so great or super inspiring. I didn't question it. I trusted her. Or maybe I just didn't want to seem paranoid. But then something happened that didn't sit right. It was a Saturday morning. Carly was in a rush, fixing her hair, putting on more makeup than usual. She said she was going to a special event, a second tour stop by Gillian Black, her favorite author. I made a dumb joke, like, "Isn't she tired of seeing you by now?" Carly laughed it off, kissed me on the cheek, and said she'd be back late. I sat on the couch after she left, just sipping coffee. Something was bugging me. Why would a big author come back to the same city for another event so soon? It felt off. So I grabbed my laptop. Looked up Gillian Black's website. Her tour schedule was right there on the homepage. That day? No physical event. A virtual Zoom tour only. No bookstore stops. No signings in Charlotte. Not even in the state. My stomach dropped. I still didn't confront her. Instead, I started preparing. I ordered a signed copy of Gillian Black's new book. Paid extra for the real deal, personalized and all. When it arrived, I opened the front cover and added my own message in black ink. The plot doesn't check out. Then I wrapped it like a gift. The next week, Carly said she was going on a literary weekend retreat with some girlfriends. Supposedly a quiet place in the mountains. Writers, readings, no cell signal. I smiled and told her to enjoy it. Kissed her goodbye and everything. As soon as she pulled out of the driveway, I got to work. I had already moved half the money from our joint bank account into my personal one. The house was in my name, I'd paid the mortgage since day one. I had boxes ready. Labeled them all, clothes, books, shoes, bathroom stuff. Packed every bit of her crap. Took pictures of each box so she couldn't say I lost anything. I rented a storage unit 10 minutes away and dropped everything off. Paid for the first month in advance. Then I called a locksmith and changed every lock on the house. I waited until Sunday. She came home around 6 p.m., suitcase in hand, looking all calm and tired. She walked up to the door, tried her key, and nothing happened. I opened it for her. She blinked. What the hell? Why are the locks changed? I handed her the wrapped book. Got you something, I said. She opened it, confused. Pulled back the paper. Saw the book. She smiled at first, then she saw the title. Then the note. Her face changed. She went pale. What is this? Open it to the title page, I said. She did. Saw the real signature from the author. Then read my line again. Her mouth opened, but nothing came out. I know where you've been, I said. Marriott. Every time. I've got the GPS logs. You weren't reading books. You were screwing someone. She still tried to lie. That's not what you think, no, I said. It's exactly what I think. I handed her an envelope with the storage address, a list of what was inside, and a printed photo of the storage receipt. You can pick your stuff up there. You're not coming back in. She stared at me like I'd hit her. I'm filing for divorce this week, I said. I hope your little literary weekend was worth it. She just stood there. Didn't cry. Didn't scream. Just stood there like the air had been knocked out of her. I shut the door in her face. And I locked it. She didn't leave right away. After I shut the door, she stood outside for a while. I could hear her pacing, then the quiet sound of her trying to call someone. Her voice was muffled, but I caught a few words through the front window. He knows. I don't know how, no, I didn't tell you to text me back. She finally left after about 30 minutes. I watched her from behind the blinds as she sat in her car for a while before driving off. The silence after that was strange. The house felt different. Colder. Quieter. I didn't feel relief. Not yet. Just a steady burn in my chest. Rage, yeah. But something else too. Shame maybe. Embarrassment. 8 years of my life, and she threw it away like nothing. By Wednesday, I filed the papers. I also started pulling copies of every credit card bill from the past 6 months. And that's when I found the next layer of crap. 2 charges at Amberley's Flowers. Over $90 each. One on a weekend she was supposedly at a friend's cabin, the other right before she claimed she was working overtime. I called the florist, played dumb, and asked if I could confirm what the purchases were for. The woman on the phone was too helpful. Those were for room 409 at the Marriott, she said cheerfully. We've done arrangements there before. Room 409. She had flowers delivered to herself. She was making it look like someone else was spoiling her, so she could tell me about the sweet surprises, and keep the story straight. She even showed me the flowers once. I remember it now. She put them in a vase and said, "Some of the ladies brought these to the signing." Jesus. I kept digging. Found a second phone bill. It was under her name, but not our usual provider. Burner phone. And yeah, I found the number in her car's Bluetooth history too. It matched the texts I later saw on her iPad. She hadn't logged out of the iCloud account. Rookie mistake. That's when I saw the name. Nate. The texts went back months. They weren't just dirty, they were full of plans. Talking about after the divorce, and how she was done living a lie, and how he doesn't suspect anything. He was me. They laughed about me. Nate wrote, "You should have just told him you were going to the gym." The book signing excuse is so 2010. Carly replied, "He's too dumb to check. He probably thinks authors still do book tours." That one cut deep. Real deep. I took screenshots. Saved them all. But I still didn't know who Nate was. Until I checked one more thing, her work schedule. I called the community center pretending to be from a survey company and asked who oversaw after-school program logistics. The woman said, "That would be Nate Kelly. He's been running the new youth division since February." Bingo. I didn't want revenge right then. I wanted justice. But not just for me. For everyone who had ever had the ground pulled out from under them like this. I waited. I started building my file: text messages, GPS logs, credit card bills, florist receipts, emails, photos, everything. I even drove to the Marriott and asked if I could reserve room 4094, a special occasion. The front desk girl smiled and said, "That room gets a lot of repeat business." I bet it does. Then something happened I didn't expect. Carly showed up at my door a week later. She looked worse: hair in a ponytail, no makeup, dark circles under her eyes. "Can I talk to you?" she asked. I didn't say anything. Just stared at her. "I didn't know what to say before," she said. "I messed up." "I know I did. But can you just let me explain?" I stepped outside, shut the door behind me. "You've got 5 minutes." She looked down. It wasn't supposed to happen like this. Me and Nate, it just started out as talking. I didn't plan to leave you. I didn't even think it would last this long. I waited. She looked up. I was going to end it. I really was. I didn't mean to hurt you. I still care about you. "Stop," I said. She blinked. "What?" "You didn't come here for closure," I said. "You came here because Nate probably didn't leave his wife." Her eyes widened. "Oh yeah," I said. "I found her too." And I had. A simple Facebook search, and boom, Nate's wife, 2 kids, golden retriever, the works. Their profile pictures looked like something out of a holiday card. Carly didn't speak. I leaned in. "Here's what's going to happen. I'm not just going to walk away. You made sure to humiliate me. You lied to my face for months. You used me. And you laughed about it." She started to cry. I didn't care. "I'm giving Nate's wife the screenshots. I've already printed the messages and the call logs. She's going to know everything." Carly shook her head, whispering, "Please don't. You should have thought about that before you treated your marriage like fanfiction." She backed away, tears running down her cheeks. I didn't think you'd do this." "Well," I said. "The plot doesn't check out, does it?" Carly left in tears, and for a moment, I thought maybe that was it. Maybe I'd finally reached the end of it. But I was wrong. Because 2 days later, I got a knock on my door at 7 a.m. I opened it, still half asleep, and there stood a woman holding a large manila envelope. Dark brown hair, sharp eyes, and a cold, calm expression. She didn't introduce herself at first. She just said, "You're the husband." I blinked. "Excuse me?" She pushed the envelope into my hands. "I'm Nate's wife. I believe we need to talk." I stepped back and let her in. She didn't sit. She stood there in the middle of my living room like she was waiting to strike. "I got your package," she said, nodding at the envelope. "The screenshots. The messages. The whole show. I wasn't sure if you'd believe it." She snorted. "Believe it? I've been watching him cheat for 6 months. I just didn't have the proof until now." I said nothing. "I need your help," she said. "I'm not just going to divorce him. I want to ruin him." I looked at her. She wasn't bluffing. What do you have in mind? She handed me her phone. He's been using his work computer to message Carly. I installed a keylogger last month, just in case. She showed me a folder full of logs, raw keystrokes, emails, even screenshots. Not just messages to Carly either. There were others. 2 other women, maybe more. And worse? Some of them were underage. My stomach turned. She looked at me. I don't know how deep this goes. But I'm not letting it slide. He works with kids. That changed everything. I said, we need to go to the police. She nodded slowly. Yeah. We will. But first, I want his job gone. I want the community center to know who they're really employing. That week became a blur. We met 3 times. Me and Nate's wife, her name was Sarah, by the way. She was a nurse. Smart. Calm. But you could tell she was barely holding it together. We shared everything we had. Every message. Every bill. Every file. And then we struck. Sarah sent the package to the board of directors at the community center. Copies to the mayor's office. Local press. Child Protection Services. I posted the messages, just the ones between Nate and Carly, on a local subreddit under a burner account. No names. No identifying details. Just enough for people to talk. By Friday, the community center put Nate on administrative leave. By Monday, he was fired. But it didn't end there. Because 2 days after that, I got a letter from a lawyer. Carly was suing me for unlawful eviction and emotional distress. She was trying to bleed me out. I called my lawyer, good guy named Doug I'd worked with years ago when I bought the house. He took one look at her claims and said, she's bluffing. But we need to hit back hard. So we did. Doug filed a counterclaim with the proof of infidelity, financial misconduct, and fraud. We requested spousal support be denied and demanded she pay legal fees. He even suggested we file for intentional infliction of emotional harm due to her ongoing deception. Carly dropped the suit 2 weeks later. But she wasn't done. I got a call late one night, from a blocked number. You think you're so smart, her voice said. But you just ruined everything. I stayed quiet. I loved you, she whispered. I really did. I said, you loved what I gave you. She started to cry. He doesn't even want me now. He's blaming me for all of it. His wife left, he lost his job, and now he's saying I manipulated him. I said nothing. You're not innocent either, she snapped. You tracked me. You read my private messages. That's abuse. I almost laughed. You cheated. You lied. And now you're playing the victim? She hung up. I stared at the phone for a while. Then turned it off. But I knew it wasn't over. Because Sarah called me the next day. We have a problem, she said. Nate's missing. I met Sarah at a diner just outside town. She looked worn out, hands shaking a little as she sipped her coffee. Nate didn't come home last night, she said. He's not answering calls. His car's gone. He didn't even show up to his lawyer meeting. I sat there, staring at her. Do you think he ran? She shook her head. I think he's hiding. From me, from you, from the cops. The messages with those other girls, one of them came forward. A minor. Her parents reported him. That made my stomach twist again. He's not just a cheater, I said. He's a predator. Sarah nodded. And now he knows it's all closing in. He's desperate. The next few days were chaos. Cops showed up at my place, asking questions. Not about me, about Nate. They found his car abandoned 2 towns over. No signs of him inside. Just a phone, wiped clean. A half-burned notebook in the back seat. I was officially done with Carly. The divorce was finalized that same week. I didn't even see her in court, she signed over everything through her lawyer. No alimony. No house. No contact. But she wasn't silent. She started posting cryptic messages online. Facebook posts about betrayal, surveillance, and toxic control. She made herself the victim. Some of her friends messaged me, calling me abusive and controlling. But I had screenshots. I had everything. I dropped one reply on her most dramatic post, a picture of her message to Nate, "He's too dumb to check." Then I logged off. I was done giving her oxygen. But it didn't end there. One night, around 2 a.m., someone tried to break into my house. They didn't get far. I'd installed cameras, motion lights, and a reinforced door. The alarm scared them off. The cops showed up, found tire tracks in the yard, but nothing else. Sarah called me the next morning. "He tried my place, too," she said, voice shaking. "Left a note on my windshield. Just said, 'You ruined me.'" Nate had snapped. The cops put out a statewide alert. He was officially wanted now, facing charges for misconduct with a minor, misuse of public resources, and more. His face was on local news. His reputation, his career, his life, it was all gone. And so was he. They found his body a month later. Deep in the woods in the Smokies. He'd taken pills and left a note that just said, "I was never going to win." I sat in silence when I heard. I didn't feel bad for him. I felt bad for the people he hurt. For Sarah. For the girls who trusted him. For the kids at the center. Carly tried to reach out after that. Sent me a long email. Apologies. Regret. Said she was getting help and working on herself. I didn't reply. She lost everything too. Her job found out about the affair. Turns out she violated a few codes in their employee conduct policy. She got fired. She moved in with her sister in Asheville. Word is she's working part-time at a bookstore now. Fitting, I guess. Sarah moved away. Started over in Richmond with her 2 boys. We still talk sometimes. Not often. Just enough to check in. We went through hell together. That doesn't just fade. As for me, I'm still here. Still in the same house. It's quieter now. Peaceful. I'm not proud of everything I did. Spying, digging, setting traps, I didn't do it out of kindness. I did it because I was angry. Hurt. Betrayed. I became someone I didn't recognize for a while. But I regret nothing. She said she was at a book signing. The author she named never even left her house. So I sent Carly the truth, written plain as day, inside the book she claimed to love. The plot doesn't check out. And neither did she. It's been a year. A full 12 months since the night I handed Carly that book and shut the door in her face. A year since my world cracked open, and I started seeing things for what they really were. Some nights, I still wake up expecting to hear her walking down the hallway. Muscle memory, I guess. 8 years of routine doesn't just leave without a trace. But I don't miss her. Not anymore. After the dust settled, I spent a long time rebuilding. Not just the house, though I did repaint the bedroom and replace the mattress, but myself. I started therapy. Not because I felt broken, but because I didn't want to carry that bitterness into whatever came next. One day I ran into Carly's sister at the grocery store. We never talked much, but she stopped me by the freezer section and said, she regrets it. She talks about you all the time. I just nodded. She added, she said you ruined her life. That made me smile. I didn't ruin her life. She did that all on her own. I just handed her the receipt. Sarah texted me on the 1-year mark of Nate's death. Just a simple message, still here. So was I. I don't tell this story for sympathy. I tell it because people need to know, they need to trust their gut. If something doesn't add up, it's probably because someone's writing a lie and hoping you don't read too closely. Me? I read every line now. Every word. Because I'll never again ignore the signs. And when someone hands me a story, you better believe I'll make sure.